to fail to control the anxiety that she could relieve only by banning me from the house now and then. Soon after sunrise, on a day in October, a few weeks after my 8th birthday, she said, "It's so wrong, Addison, and I despise myself for it. But you've got to get out, or I don't know what I'll do. Maybe for just a day, maybe 2, I don't know. I'll put the flag out when it's okay for you to come back in the house. But right now, I don't want you near me." For a flag, she used a dish towel hung from a hook on a porch post. Whenever I was banned from the house, I checked every morning and again in the late afternoon to see if the flag had been hung. And every time that I saw it, I was elated. For me, at least, loneliness was a terrible hardship, even though it was the basic condition of my existence. When not permitted in the house, which included the porch, I slept in the yard if the weather was warm. In winter, I slept in the ramshackle garage, either on the back seat of her Ford Explorer or on the floor in a comfortable sleeping bag. Each day she left food for me in a picnic hamper, and I did not want for anything, except what mattered most: companionship. By my 8th birthday, I had spent so much time roaming the forest that it was as much a home to me as the house. Nothing in nature's greenwood feared me or was repelled merely by the sight of me. Because I had no memory of the midwife, I had never seen a human being other than my mother, and she had impressed upon me that such an encounter would almost surely result in my death. But what traveled on wings or 4 feet did not judge me. Furthermore, I possessed considerable strength for my age, and quickness, and at all times an intuitive sense of where I was in the woods, and of how best to navigate there. I wore hiking boots and blue jeans and a flannel shirt, and in one pocket I carried a Swiss Army knife with numerous tools. I was 8, but older than 8 in many ways. A boy, but not a boy like any other. The most beautiful works of humanity, which I had seen in books of photography, were not as bewitching as any mixed hardwood forest. Oaks and maples and birches and cherry. And there were alders, the humble tree that even experienced woodsmen often fail to notice. So hardy that half the city of Venice, Italy, is still supported by alder piles that have withstood the ceaseless action of the sea for centuries. Wild acacia blooming red in summer. Wake robin with its enormous white flowers, and all the graceful ferns, holly fern and licorice fern, and daintily cut pulcherrimum, and ostrich ferns with their fronds arranged like shuttlecocks. Because my mother loved nature and had a library of reference books, I knew the names of things. I loved the forest, and on that early October day, banished from the house, I took refuge in the wilderness, which at that time of year stood ablaze with autumn color. More than a mile from the house, I came to a favorite place, a formation of limestone sculpted by millennia of weather into soft, flowing forms that made it appear to be melting. Perhaps 40 feet in diameter, the mass was cored through here and there with natural flute holes leading to hollows within, some of which could be accessed through openings around the base. When the wind was strong enough and blew from the north, it made a worthy instrument of the limestone and piped from it the most haunting sounds. I sat at the highest point, 7 feet above the forest floor, and offered myself to the sun, which slanted through the overhanging trees in warm golden shafts. The resplendent woods were filled with nearly as much birdsong as color, mostly juncos and orioles. But the hair-streak butterflies that had dazzled with their blue wings were gone with the summer. I mourned the summer that autumn had recently dispatched, for soon the forest would be less welcoming, and many creatures would grow less active or migrate farther south, or die. When the wolf appeared, I was not surprised, for I had seen a few before, whizzing through the trees, so silent that they might have been ghosts of wolves long gone. For years these mountains had been